Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. How quickly this week is flying by, and I feel like I say that every single time, but it's true. Do you guys realize we're almost halfway through September already? And we kind of literally just started September like a couple of days ago. I cannot deal. You can't hear me? Okay, let me try and see what I could do. Let me The audio is not working. A little bit better. What I'm going to do is sync it back to my Yeti microphone. I really do not like when it's the default. That's a really, really bad mic. So I have my studio mic here, and I'm going to turn up the volume so that you guys are able to hear me. Thanks so much for flagging that, Lynn. How y'all doing? We've got Maria here. Good morning. Good morning, Gala, Venetia, Lynn, Cynthia as well. Good morning, Ronnie, Cami, Kahara, Frog Lover, Acacia, Ronnie. Oh, thanks so much, Ronnie. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Y'all, I'm telling you, that was like the most beautiful, like nature-filled weekend ever. Like really being able to sit down in on some benches on the inside of like a multi-100-year-old willow tree was just absolutely incredible. I am so looking forward to going back there. And, I tagged the location if ever you guys are in town and you want to go, give it a look. Good morning, Emily. Well, we love you being here too, and bringing your cute little dog with you as well. And I'm saying little as if it isn't gigantic. Good morning, Kate. Did you get to see that new video I posted for my channel members yesterday? We're going to be getting into a little bit of Kail's crash out here as well, but I went into more detail yesterday for my channel members, so y'all definitely make sure to check that out. Shelby says she loves a good Kail story. Y'all, Kail has been crashing out so much, and I really think that her friends need to, hey, India, good morning, boo. I think her friends need to take what she's saying seriously, because there's nothing normal about the stuff that she says, especially we talked about like her brood of children yesterday, right? She's got 7 kids. Half of them are under like 3 years old, right? And so for her to be talking so consistently about how she wants to delete herself or whatever, like, guys, is this postpartum, right? Like, is this just overwhelm? Like, there's a lot going on with her, and they keep on kind of just like laughing it off as if it's funny and it's cute, but it's really not. If you listen, and we're going to talk about this, I'm not going to play the audio because I'm streaming live on TikTok as well, but if you listen to the latest episode of her Karma and Chaos podcast with Becky, she spends half of this podcast episode talking about how she wants to delete herself. It, like, the alarm bells are seriously going off, and she keeps trying to write it off as a joke or whatever. And her friends, they're telling her, that it's weird. It's not, she shouldn't be saying this kind of stuff. But I don't think they really realize like how dark this is, and a lot of the comments, coming in for that episode, we're talking about this as well. So if you look at the comment section of that podcast episode, people are like, Kail, we're tired of you making these jokes. Like, it's sick. It's not okay. We hope you're not saying this around your children. We're going to get into all that, okay? But I did want to start off. And by the way, good morning to everybody joining us. I wish I could get into every single name. But good morning, good morning, good morning. So happy to have you here. And good morning to my Bush squad as well. If you're watching from the bushes, so happy to have you too. We have a lot to cover, so I'm ready to kind of just dive right in, starting off with some 90-Day Fiance happily ever after news. Are y'all keeping up with this story? Jasmine and Matt. So the two of them got together after things kind of hit the fan between she and her estranged husband, Gino, right? Matt has spent the entirety of the season pining for Jasmine. We're about to find out in next week's episode about the pregnancy and whatnot, right? So like they do have a daughter together. I believe her name is Maddie. And now, come to find out, the two of them have seemingly already broken up. And Jasmine is looking into moving already to Italy. And did you guys know Jasmine actually speaks a little bit of Italian? Watch her tell you about her plans to move herself, okay? In Italian. Take a listen.
Sto seriamente pensando di trasferirmi definitivamente fuori dall'America. Ho sempre considerato sperimentare il vecchio mondo, quindi Italia mi viene sempre in mente, quindi iniziare a praticare il mio italiano e apprendere le lingue più seriamente.
I love me a language nerd. I love me a polyglot. So listening to Jasmine talking about wanting to move to Italy and doing it in Italian already is just really, really cool. I'm happy for her. I think it's really beautiful the way that she loves and appreciates learning new languages. However, I'm kind of concerned about what's going on with her children back in Panama. A lot of it, like, it's really hard to even remember, but Jasmine is a parent. Like, she's got kids in Panama, right? So is she going to be able to bring them with her to Italy? I don't know, but I'm very curious about that entire situation. So for those of you who might not know, the reason, or the official reason, why Jasmine's children are not with her in the United States is because apparently Gino left them off of the visa application. And so she was not able to actually go ahead and bring them over to the US with her. So I don't know how Jasmine would be able to get an Italian visa, for example. I think she would have to find herself a nice Italian man to kind of hitch her wagon to personally. And I'm not too sure that she can pull that off at this point with as much baggage as she has. Let me go ahead and pull up the screenshots, by the way, about her relationship with Matt, because throughout this entire season, it looks like Matt is her soulmate, right? Like the way that he is so thirsty for her, like truly, truly desperately thirsty for her. She's working out her weird kind of complex marriage with Gino. And this guy is constantly telling her to choose him, right? He's the ultimate pick-me. And so now to find out that they just had this baby and they're already broken up, like, it's really, really disappointing, to say the least. Although it does appear as though Jasmine is taking this breakup in stride and just looking to pack her bags and move on to the next country. So these are the screenshots. Shout out to the Instagram page, The Reality Mess, for capturing them. They show the two of them going back and forth in the comment section, and the confirmation that Matt has moved out or of the home, right? So she posted a selfie of her pregnant baby belly, and Matt posted a comment that says, "I love you, and I've waited patiently because my heart believes in us, but it hurts to feel like my love isn't met with the same care. I wish it could be easy, but begging for love wears on me." And it really does seem as though that was the dynamic of their relationship, right? Jasmine getting to figure out things within her marriage, figuring out things in her relationship with Matt, as Matt is just there constantly waiting in the cut for her to come through. "Oh, is that my girl Hamlet's princess? Hey, boo, nice to see you." And so Jasmine responded to that comment saying, "Why you have to comment this kind of stuff here to make me look like the bad guy? Then you complain when I overreact. Come pick up your mail. By the way, I'm not a post office," right? So confirming that things are over and that Matt has moved out of the home. I still am really kind of like sad about this, because Matt really seemed like he truly, truly loved Jasmine and wanted to be with her. And so just to think that, he did all of that for her just to break up before their baby even turns 1 year old, like, that really is just absolutely devastating, right? I definitely feel for Jasmine in that respect. Like, you move to the US for a guy, the guy kind of leaves you hanging or whatever, although that whole open marriage thing, listen, I want to know what you guys think about this dynamic and whatnot in the comment section. If you're watching my playback or if you're watching me live, I'm ready to see what you have to say in the live chat. And Esther, no, you have not missed the Kail story. Do not worry. That is going to be our third story of the day. Okay. Lynn says, I have no idea who these people are. Listen, 90 Day Fiance universe really is full of just so many characters. It's very easy to lose track. J Dash says, old zesty ass Matt with his simping self, the F. Really, you think that about? Listen, I do think he's a simp, but I'm sad. Like, I think every girl deserves a nice simp, don't you? I'm just sad though that things did not work out like so so quickly after the birth of their baby. And she truly is messy. I'm so freaking shocked by all of this so quickly. Acacia says, how is she supposed to co-parent and the other kids? Exactly, right? Jasmine already has kids in Panama. Who's watching them? Like her mom or something? Then she has a child in the United States. I don't see Matt allowing Jasmine to leave the US with their daughter. So maybe it kind of feels like Jasmine's just going to do the same thing she did to her other kids in Panama, right? Which is just to leave the child behind and to move on with her life to a different country. Sad, 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 right? Good morning, C. Nice to see you. T. Ruth says, sounds like she's okay with living a single child-free life. And I agree. Listen, she's meant to be a free child-free girly, right? Like free as a bird, do anything you want, wherever you want, whenever you want. So why is she having these kids? You know, like, you would think that like her having a baby by an American and then having the whole marriage visa and whatnot, she would double down on that, wait until she has her green card before picking up her life again. But the whole kid thing really just does not seem to be for her. Ronnie says, wait, how is she leaving her kids? Exactly, right? Like you wouldn't even know that this woman had children at all, the way that she navigates through life. And, you know, I find that to be very, very sad for her kids. Gwen is back with a new photo. Look at this bandana. How groovy is that? You know what this bandana reminds me of? Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls. Love it. Good morning, all. I'm a little drowsy from my muscle relaxer, but I'll get it together. Well, listen, you know what? Even if you're just chilling in the bushes for today's episode, don't worry. We're happy to just have your presence. Feel better soon, Gwen. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. And good morning, Ashley. Nice to see you. Good morning, Susie. Nice to see you. Matt says she's weird for not worrying about her other kids. I agree. I think that it is so freaking odd. I'm really curious about what actually went down behind the scenes here, because this seemed like a really, really good match. He seemed very, very dedicated to her. So what could happen? Do you guys think that Jasmine is at fault here? Right? And she says, hell no to an open marriage, not mine at least. And I agree. I don't listen. Shout out to those of you who have these open marriages, open relationships or whatever. I wouldn't be able to do it. Like the way that I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. I feel like I would be constantly on edge. And like, I just don't have an interest in like multiple men or whatever. Like, I'm very like, you know, you get one and that's good, right? Like, I don't have a wandering eye, but God bless those of you who do and are able to do it ethically. But it just feels like it would stress me the hell out. What do you mean, you know, other women exist? You know, like, oh, no. Winnie the Cat says, I always felt it was selfish of Jasmine to have another baby when her other kids are still stuck away from her. I agree. But you know what? To play devil's advocate here, I kind of wonder if her strategy was, okay, let me like, you know, kind of anchor baby it up over here. And then maybe that'll kind of solidify my visa or my immigration here, and then I'll be able to bring my other kids. Maybe this is something she felt she was doing for her other kids. I don't know. Listen, I'm just trying to like explore all options here, right? Ronnie says, I couldn't leave my kids. Listen, I don't even have any, and I wouldn't either. You know, that's what makes her so strange. And the fact that she's got this like newborn, like she's got this like, you know, kind of toddler, not even a toddler, like a real newborn, an infant, and she's already like, deuces, let me go to my next country. Like, yeah, Jaleesa, like it's kind of giving that, right? Very, very sad. So Ramster says her mom is looking after her two sons, one having special needs. So isn't that crazy? The idea that you're like a woman of a particular age, right? Because Jasmine, how old is Jasmine? Isn't she like in her 40s? So her mom would be what, like 60s or something, 60s, 70s. And you're having to spend your golden years looking after your like grown deadbeat child's like children. Like, no, like that sucks. That's so mean. Like she should be looking to go back to Panama. And listen, there's so many Americans who go immigrate to Panama, right? Like it's a pretty good country from what I'm hearing. So it's just so weird to me, like that these are a complete afterthought to her. Winnie the Cat says, I could never just up and leave my children. She constantly used those kids to guilt Gino, right? Like I think it's so freaking sad and weird. I just do not understand what she's got going on. Morning End. Ramsey says the Italian. Also, does Gino have Italian citizenship and everything? Because listen, I don't know how long these two have been married for. They are separated. However, they've been married for a long time, or they have been married for at least 2 years or something like that on paper. And if she already speaks a certain level of Italian and she knows Italian history, I think after only 3 years of marriage to an Italian person, you can go ahead and apply for citizenship. So maybe that's what she'll do. But listen, I think for people who come from like Latin America and whatnot, The quickest way to get like EU citizenship would be to go through Spain. I think in Spain it's only like 1 or 2 years and boom, you're eligible, right? And so you already speak the language. You should have a certain base level of the history, given that it's so interwoven with your own countries. So that to me, if I were, you know, like Latina, Afro-Latino or whatever, that's the direction I would go down. Just saying. Hey, BR, nice to see you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. That's what I'm thinking, Minnie. Like, I don't get it. Like, listen, I understand why men want to be like polyamorous and whatnot. Women are the bomb.com. We're amazing. Like, you really help to like, you know, elevate, you know, somebody's life and whatnot. And we're so right? We smell so good, but like one man is more than enough for me to put up with. I can't. Like the idea of having multiple sounds like a nightmare to me. Winnie the Cat says, "Thank you for asking." Oh, okay. Good. Sorry, Keith, I wanted to read your comment. She had a baby with her roommate and yet has 2 kids in Panama that she's not taking care of. I can't with Jasmine. Same here. Listen, Jasmine's a funny girl. She's got a lot of very memeable moments on the show and whatnot, but overall, just the whole like deadbeat thing to her kids, not really feeling it. I can't. Can I, you know what? Like speaking of some weird kid stories, why don't we get into these two? Do y'all remember those trifling, cheating? Hey, Boomcat, nice to see you. Do y'all remember those trifling like news anchors? What were they on? Good Morning America, TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. They're planning to have a kid together. She's 52 years old and he's 48 years old. You would think at this point, when you're this age, right? Your kids are grown. The youngest one that they have between the two of them is TJ's 16-year-old. And then her kids are in their 20s and whatnot. Like, and then he's got other older kids whose ages are not really specified, but I believe they're in their 20s as well, or, you know, approaching it. They want to have a kid together. And he's the one who's especially pushing for it. Again, listen, you're at a certain age, right? You're at a certain age, you guys. Like, you should be thriving, looking to just enjoy the world, travel, like do all these exciting things for yourselves versus wanting to start back over with children. I will never understand this. I can't, right? I really do not understand it at all, but I digress. This is something they opened up about on their podcast together, right? And so TJ's a little bit perturbed because he keeps bringing this up to Amy and she's laughing it off, right? And she says, and so he said, and I quote, "We've talked more lately about having kids. We've talked about the idea of even adopting a child. And usually it's me bringing it up. Listen, if they go adopt, they better be careful because Caitlin and Tyler are going to come for them." They are going to come for them. Let's just say, right? They are going to come for them, right? And I think if you're going to do that, maybe get like a child who's already at least double digits or something like that, because people always want to adopt like newborns or infants or something like that. Again, these people are like middle-aged, okay? Like you're 52 and 48. Lovely ages, but enjoy your life. Why would you go and purposely get a baby at this point? I just cannot imagine it. It sounds like the ultimate nightmare. I can't get with this mentality, right? Get a nice child, like already up there in age, like 10 or something. It's very difficult for children a little bit older to be adopted. And I think that that is like more compatible for their age and whatnot and stage in life, right? And so they have this advice column and whatnot, right? And he says that he needs to write into his own advice column to get some advice on what to do when the person you're with, who is maybe at an advanced baby making age, laughs every time you bring up the possibility of kids. And so Amy says, listen, that she's laughing because the ship has sailed so long ago. Remember, she is a cancer survivor, right? And so when she was going through her battle with breast cancer, that is when the doctors and everything that went down, they were like, okay, at this point, like you got to shut down shop. Like it doesn't look likely at all that you will be able to have children after everything that your body is going through to put you in remission from breast cancer, right? And so she said that she had to hear this at the age of 40 and she's come to peace with it. So now to hear at 52 that the man you're with suddenly wants kids, like, yeah, it's kind of funny to her, right? And so as far as the children that they have, like they treat each other's children as if they're their own, which I think is a beautiful thing. But the thing is that for them, like there's a certain amount of time that passes when you're with somebody where you just feel like you want your own unit together, right? And so sometimes when you're kind of combining families and whatnot, like your prior children, my prior children, whatever, but they want one together, whether that is a biological child or an adopted child. Again, I really think at this point they need to go ahead and maybe foster a child or adopt a child who's already a little bit older. I'm sorry. I kind of feel like, what do you guys think about it? Let me head over to the live chat and see, okay? Minnie says, Amy's a cancer survivor. Personally, I wouldn't want kids at that age being a cancer survivor myself, right? Like, don't you want to enjoy your life? Listen, these people, like, they got kicked out of, like, the news world and everything, right? Like, I know they already have money and whatnot, but they lost their jobs and stuff, too. Like, just go have fun. Like, kids are so expensive. You've done it. Your kids are grown. Go have fun. You still have a 12-year-old between the two of you that you can, like, co-parent and raise together. Like, why do you need more? Anyway, Shelby says they're in the male mindset of having young kids and die wild. 52 and baby, never. My aunt had one at 42 and I thought she was nuts even as a kid. That's the thing. Oh, in the Kail mindset of having kids and die, right? I don't get it. Listen, maybe there's like a special mechanism that's just missing in me, because the idea of having kids at this age, oh Lord, please. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. It's too much. It's too much. You know, especially when you've already raised multiple. Like, I don't see the point. I don't see the appeal, like nothing about it. Summer Breeze, good morning, sunshine. Nice to see you. I always love seeing your beautiful or red hair. Y'all know I love me some redheads. I love, love, love your hair. Winnie says, find a child in foster care. I agree. You know, and find one similar in age to TJ's child. That way it's even, you know, more easy and more reasonable for whatever they've got going on family dynamic wise, right? Ashley says, a baby with my original side piece. No thanks. Embarrassing. I'm telling you, the way people play in each other's faces like that. No kidding. And Susie, look at this little cutie. Oh. I don't know how she leaves. This is about Jasmine, by the way. Her kid's back in Panama, has another baby here. And now you're saying she's moving to Italy, right? She's chaotic as hell. She is chaotic as hell. God bless you, Jasmine. Good luck with whatever it is you're planning to do in life, but it just doesn't sound good. Terry says, I'm not planning for X at 50 years old. That's wild. Are you kidding me? So as a 50 years old, you're never getting laid again? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. What are you going to do with all your time in retirement? You got nothing else to do. Like, yeah. Like, are you kidding me? Oh my God. I would be banging like a screen door in a hurricane throughout my retirement. Are you kidding me? Terry, are you talking about kids or ex? Girl, that's a long time to go without getting any. Damn. Mrs. D says 50, very aptly named after that comment. 52 is unfair to the kid. I agree. You know, it's just, it's a little bit too, and I feel like it's unfair to other people, you know, who are younger and looking to adopt and like have children for the first time or something like that, right? Like people who've already been there, done that, like 6 kids between the two of them, you know, at 50 something coming into like, you know, to the adoption market and stuff. I don't know. I don't like it. Susie says, oh, Susie, you're in the playback posse, boo. I'm like, where are these like Jasmine comments coming from? You are in the playback posse and I love it. Love, 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 love. Right. And I agree, YouTube Addict. They are very, very toxic people. And it's, yeah, it was hard to watch. I had to take a little bit of a break. Carly, are you Irish? I always think you're Irish when I see you. Hey, boo. I missed you all. I was so sick last week, so I've been part of the playback posse, but happy to catch the live. So happy that you're feeling better, Carly. Thanks so much for coming back. And I hope that you continue to feel better and better. My goodness, how brutal is it to feel sick for an entire week? Oh, my God. Get well soon, Carly. So happy to have you back. Listen, you guys, I'm going to keep you guys updated if there's any more updates on this particular story. But again, honestly, maybe get a hobby at that point if you're thinking of going to adopt kids, you know, babies at, you know, at 50 something years old. Sorry, but yeah, it might be time to find something else to do to fill up your time. Speaking of people who need hobbies, let's talk about Kail. And her hobby needs to involve something other than popping out kids with men she doesn't know, right? So she came back to the Karma and Chaos podcast. She had to take some time off because she had another surgery, right? She had like some sort of a neck lift or something like that to fix her double chin issue. She was not happy with it, so she got it fixed. Listen, from what I've seen so far, the results look rather good, but Kail is unhappy with her results for the time being. This is something that she let us know on the podcast, and it's particularly because there's something going on with the nerve. Do you guys remember? Some of you guys, I know, especially Jaleesa, East Awesome, Allie, and Star. I know you guys watch The Valley. I think some more of you guys do as well, but do you guys remember season 1 of The Valley, Brittany Cartwright, when she had her like meltdown? Every time she talked to us like this, Jax, give me my sparkle. What about date night? She had her like thing pulling like that. Sorry, but it was really hard to look at that entire season. So Kail says she has that going on, but that she's really good at hiding it. And that's driving her nuts. And that apparently that side effect can last for up to 1 year. Okay, so just to set the stage of what she's got going on and the crash out that she's currently experiencing, right? And so from the very beginning of this podcast, if you guys go and suffer through it the way I did, from the first minute in, you will hear what I heard, which is her talking about how somebody in like Sweden or something like that had some kind of assisted suicide and she wants that. She's like, listen, if my results don't look any better, I'm going over there and I'm getting an assisted suicide. Hang on, let me go back and put up the picture I had yesterday of Kail with all of her kids, because you already know that the girl is unwell because she's got 7 kids by 4 different men, right? Like, but it's crazy to see just how unwell specifically she is, that she is so vain as to say that she is going to leave those 7 kids who she chose to bring into this earth, right? She's going to leave them behind because she might not be happy with the way that her plastic surgery that she didn't even need to get looks. And she just kept bringing it up, and her friends had to tell her to chill. Go look at the comment section, you guys, for the last episode of the Karma and Chaos podcast. Everybody is saying, Kail, you need to stop with these suicide jokes. They're weird. They're unfunny. And I hope that you're not saying this stuff to your children, because it is just so beyond inappropriate that you keep on threatening this. And it's not funny. Like you need to find like another, like, what do you call it? Shtick. It's just seriously unfunny. It's worrisome and it's triggering, right? I think there's another story that came out recently about a mother who did this without even telling her child. And she had 1 child and it was a daughter. And so maybe you guys, if you're watching me live on TikTok or on YouTube, or if you're watching the playback and you know this story I'm talking about, but essentially this woman, she told her daughter she was going off on a trip, right? And she'd be back from her trip eventually, of course, right? So she goes off on the trip. The daughter, I guess, is happy for her that she's going on a trip. And guess what? The mom just doesn't come back, because the secret trip that her mom went on was actually one of these kinds of trips, right? She went to a different country to get an assisted suicide. So people can be triggered by this stuff. It's not funny, right? Passing away is not funny. Like, opting to pass away is not funny. And especially when you say that this is something you want to do to your children over plastic surgery results, that's especially unfunny, right? It was a very uncomfortable episode. And something else that was really weird. So Kail has either been replaying old podcast episodes or having her co-host do the stuff for her, right? While she's been away recovering. And so Becky has truly been holding it down on this podcast. I don't listen to the episodes without Kail because we're not here for Becky information, right? We grew up with, or have Kail that we've been watching forever. Becky is just we don't have that same connection with her. But that doesn't mean that the podcast becomes irrelevant or whatever when Becky is on alone. I think there are other people who enjoy listening to Becky on the show. And so Kail says, people told me I had to come back to the show or they'd boycott it. Like, kind of as an FU to her friend Becky and all of the time, energy, and effort that she's put into keeping the thing going during Kail's latest absence. This is not even the first time this year that Kail has had to leave the show to her co-hosts to run without her so that she can run off and get plastic surgery, right? It was only a couple months ago that she ran off to get another round of lipo, tummy tuck. She got some kind of a breast lift as well. And so the thank you is, people said they were going to boycott it if I didn't come back. Basically, they don't give an F about you. And so that was really weird to me, right? And so I want to talk to you guys also about how I kind of feel as though Kail is a little bit biphobic a little bit later on. But first, I want to read you guys' comments about what I've said so far, because I've said an awful lot. And I need to stop yapping and to get into what it is that you guys are saying over here in the live chat. Okay. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say in the playback as well. But for now, seeing as we're live, I'm going to get into the live chat. And as I head over there, I'm going to put up this photo of Kail and all of her kids that she's joking about leaving behind over some plastic surgery results. Okay, so let's hop into the live chat. You know what I could even do, you guys? Why don't I drop a call-in link? in case any of you guys want to hop on and actually talk about this a little bit more at length. So let me go ahead, grab that call-in link. I know that typically it's either really early for you guys or really late for you guys, or you guys are at work, but just in case any of you guys are available, let me go ahead and drop this in. I keep telling y'all, like, she is not feeling good. She's not feeling good, and she's masking it behind dark humor. But if this is all you keep talking about, I think this is something that might be on your mind. And remember, her latest kids, she just popped them out like a year ago, right? 3 of them. So yeah, maybe she's going through a lot of hormonal issues or something like that. I don't know, but it is just so worrisome. Carly, you are Irish. I knew it. I'm Irish, raised American, though. Don't hate me for it. Listen, I love my American co-reporters, but I know an Irish girl when I see one. Love. SW says, hi, Grace. Greetings from Germany. Hey, Sarah. I have a friend who's going to be staying a month in Germany. She's doing some kind of like pet sitting thing for a friend that she met on vacation. I don't remember where she's going to be. I was telling her, listen, girl, go enjoy Oktoberfest over there. I wish I still drank. I do, but like once in a blue moon kind of thing. Hey, guys, let's see what you guys have to say, right? Winnie the Cat says, her body, her choice, I guess, but once again, showing her selfishness or possibly severe depression and cry for help. I really do think that this is, a depression sort of a thing that she is masking behind humor. Hey, Erica, thanks so much. So nice to see you, boo. Hey. Thank you. I do think that like she's trying to hide it behind humor, but it's a real cry for help. I think that when your friends are constantly talking to you about these kinds of like really dark things, even if they're kind of like acting like it's a joke, like I think like you have to take that stuff seriously and see what you can do, to help them. Like, what does she need in her life right now? Because clearly she's just not doing well at all, right? Kate says she was cringing listening to that episode, and that Kail is clearly unwell. I think so too, and this is not like a ha or whatever snark sort of thing. It's like, yeah, like she's not doing okay, right? Like it's all of these kids, right? By all of these guys, half of them hate you. And then on top of that, half the internet hates you or makes fun of you or whatever. And then you don't have a relationship with your parents. You're like an orphan with parents who are still alive. She wants to go see her dad on his deathbed. Hey, OMG, good morning. And get some confessions out of him, but he doesn't care about her. Oh, like it's a lot she's going through right now, right? And then like maybe all of the exhaustion or pain from plastic surgery back to back, like it's a lot, right? And I feel like I'm not even naming the tip of the iceberg. I think there's so many more, things that she's going through, right? Body dysmorphia in general and whatnot, right? Like she's got a lot going on, a lot. And yeah, like she's sounding the alarm, but I think she needs to just be real and say, hey, listen, I'm struggling with ideation, and just put it out that way instead of trying to make us think that it's normal to joke about this, right? Hamlet says, what the F? That girl needs so much help. Her poor kids. Elliot can see and understand this stuff. And that's the thing, right? Like her kid listens to her podcast. Like she puts these clips on social media and whatnot. So just seeing your mom making these kinds of jokes, quote unquote jokes, like constantly, like it's weird, right? It's really weird. And I agree, Ashley. I think she means it deep down and she's testing the waters or something. Like this is scary. Becca says she's scaring me at this point. She's saying it like it's a joke, but I don't think she's joking at all. I think she's crying out for help. Same here. I really do think that somebody needs to check on her, like truly, like heart to heart. What's going on? What do you need? Like this is, this is not funny and we're here for you kind of a thing, right? Ramster says it seems like she puts out a cry for help, but it could also be for attention. I do worry about that too. But to me, the risk of this being real is just so great that I would be doing something if I were a friend of hers. And Magali says on TikTok, getting 7 kids to school sounds exhausting. And I agree. Y'all, she put up a vlog like 2 days ago about her day getting these kids to school, like doing it all alone. Like, oh, you think you finally find somebody who's going to like be there for you, ride or die, blah, blah. Like he's obsessed with you and he cheats on you. Like, and now you're stuck doing all this on your own. And you're like a young girl, like you're only like 32 years old. Like this is your life. Like that sounds brutal. I'm sorry, but it sounds brutal. Erica says she needs to stop. I lost my parents 18 days apart to COVID-19 and I was 35. Ouch. I'm so lost without them. Her kids will be small and will be very much still need her. That talk is a serious cry for help. And I agree. And I'm so sorry you lost your parents, especially back to back like that, Erica. Oh my God. But it's not funny. So many people are triggered by this, the loss of their parents, And so to see somebody whose whole brand is the fact that they're trying to, populate their city, right? Or their subdivision or whatever. And she's just keying while all these people are still so young. Half of them are under 2 years old. She's joking about leaving them all behind over plastic surgery results. And remember, the last time we did a recap about her joking about suicide, what was she saying? Oh, it's okay. I'm worth more to them dead than alive because of my life insurance policies. She's not okay, y'all. Sarah, buenos dias desde nice pre-fallish Houston. Buenas. Oh my God. Buenos días, chiquisita. Desde el frío París. Con el lluvia. Castle says she needs to get help for her mental health. She's always been a depressed, angry, unhappy person and very selfish. Her kids are the ones that suffer. And I agree. Kail, please. She's been in therapy, right? She's been in therapy for 7 years. Maybe she needs something a little bit more intense. I know some of you guys have talked to me about different types of therapies. I think, what is it called? Cognitive behavioral therapy, like something else, because whatever she's doing is just not helping. Did she do another thing of shading V on Barely Famous, Julissa? Is she not tired? And again, I get it. She's had a really, really rough life. But when you're out here popping out kids back to back, you owe it to them to get better. You owe it to them to put in the work, right? Not good, right? And parents really do leave their kids alone, right? Like they really do take their own lives and stuff, right? So it's not okay. This is not funny. And this actually is a risk, right? Even when their kids are really young and, things like postpartum depression or psychosis or whatever, these are very real things that she could potentially be suffering from. When he says, Kail is always, what are you doing for me now? Not what have you done for me in general. Very, very sad stuff, right? BR, don't worry. We're still talking about her. And I do think they'll see this stuff, right? Acacia says that she is always seeking attention and validation. And it's so old, though. Like, come up with something new. Come up with something fresh and exciting. This is not fun. This is weird and depressing, right? Shelby says she cuts any real friends who would raise alarm bells and hold her accountable out of her life, and everyone is left is on the payroll. And I actually saw Becky being like a real friend and whatnot, but I think even Becky is a little bit perturbed by all this. And maybe because Becky's got this like newborn and whatnot, she is not, able to really kind of pay much attention. She may be sleep deprived, exhausted herself or something with so much on her own plate. Becky says, the way she hates herself and also has this way of thinking she's so superior and better than everyone is wild. And you know what? That's an interesting way to put it, because I do think that that's kind of like the dichotomy of her personality, right? Like self-loathing, yet a lot of self-importance too at the same time. And all of it, hides behind money. Alexa says, Kail is showing so many red flags and no one in her life is taking it seriously. I agree. Listen, let it be known that we here on the Morning Report, on YouTube and on TikTok, like we see it, we hear it, and we're taking it seriously. We're not connected to Kail though, so there's nothing really we can do, but we see it for the red flag that it is. It's not light banter, casual conversation. Like it's alarming. Jillian says, it's clear Elijah's very present and very helpful. Yeah, she did mention Elijah being present and joking with her about her plastic surgery and stuff. So at least he's around. But I think that cheating or whatever traumatized her. But at the same time, the girl's been cheating on everybody she's with. So I think it was a certain level of karma for her. Hey, Jillian, thanks so much for your batch. Magali says, Miguel says, maybe even EMDR. I'm not being funny. I grew up like her and it helped me. What does EMDR stand for? Because listen, I do think she needs to explore. I don't think you're being funny at all. I think she needs to explore, right? To figure out what can help her, because whatever she's doing is just not really helping at all. SW also says, deep down, she's really unwell. All this plastic surgery and her talking about more kids when you're a single mom. And that's the thing. You're talking about having more kids simultaneously. Yours are still really young. 3 of them are like 1 and under. And you're also planning to off yourself. ASAP. What is this? Right? Right? And I'm so sorry you're struggling with that, Carly. Hang in there. Stay strong. Right? Like it's, and you recognize the gravity of it. And like, just to put that on other people around you too, I think it's unfair. Like if my friend were joking about that constantly, like that's not cool. Like I don't want this kind of energy. You know what I mean? Now let's talk about why I think that Kail is kind of like biphobic. And it has to do with the way she talks to Becky and like jokes about things with Becky and whatnot. Kail is constantly flirting with Becky on this podcast, right? Again, this is something I kind of went over with my channel members in a video I posted yesterday, but she was saying that, long story short, like she was talking about swingers things. Here in France, they call them les, club échangistes, so swingers clubs or whatever. And she was asking Becky, her friend who was married, Becky who has a newborn son at home. She's like, oh, like, oh, my naked body this, my naked body that, searching for validation. And then she goes, I kind of want to go to a swingers club. Becky, like, how would you feel about going to a swingers club with me? Thanks, Tyrell. Nice to see you. Good morning. Do you think she would do that to a straight friend? Like a straight female friend or a bisexual female friend with a husband? Would she do that with her male friends who are married with wives? Like some of the ways that she kind of acts like Becky's home situation with a wife and a child is just not important is so strange to me, and yeah, she is bi, and that's the thing, right? That's like the thing too. It's like you're part of this community yourself, but she seems to not take Becky's relationship seriously at all. And I think that there's a certain level of internalized homophobia with that. Just saying, like she's constantly trying to bait Becky and flirt with Becky and like ask her if she finds her hot and this and that, remind her about the time that they made out and this, like all sorts of things, right? Like she's really like just weird when it comes to Becky. Mocha says Kail defines herself by her money. That's why she thinks she can control people and everything around her, except the rest of the world doesn't care about the money, period. She should have learned her lesson with Chris. Listen, Chris kind of used her a little bit for that money, but he was not hooked enough to go and really full-blown pretend to, be in love with her or anything like that, right? And I agree, Kristen. This kind of reminds me of Kate and her neglected horse. Remember, she wanted a horse because she was going through things, and then that horse was never even brushed or used or anything like that. Kate says, I second the EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. Right? There are so many things. She needs to try as hard as she can because she is just not, she's not doing well. Right? And I agree. I don't think Becky's wife really cares for her that much. What's Becky's wife's name again? I keep forgetting. But yeah, like she seems like a really nice lady. And if I were her, I'd be keeping an eye out for Kail. Right? Tyrell says maybe she doesn't seem to care about others' families. I don't think she does, right? Even her own, because she is a rampant cheater, right? So if I were Becky's wifey, I would not really be so cool with her having this friendship with Kail personally, right? And I agree. If it's not her, it's not important. Good morning, Misha. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Almost Thanksgiving. Listen, I'm going to be doing Thanksgiving with my friends here in Paris. We're going to be celebrating it in November, though, because like turkeys and stuff like that, because there are more American expats here than like Canadian ones. That stuff comes out in November. So I'm going to be doing that with them in November. So stay tuned. I'm excited. It's my first time cooking a turkey. Michelle says pre-surgery psych. My gosh, she should have never been allowed to proceed until she was in a better mental state. And I agree. Right? That's the thing, though. Like, unless you're like a glaring red flag, like surgeons and whatnot, they don't have to do any kinds of evaluations on you. They could just take your money and do that operation, right? So Misha thinks that she would kind of home wreck that situation. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Kind of like how Kail treated Joe when he got with V. She was so jealous of V. Oh my God. She smokes pot. Meanwhile, that girl, she smoked her own pot. Just saying. Listen, y'all, we got some more stories to get into. Like I told y'all, it is going to be a big, juicy episode of the Morning Report. Next, we're going to talk about Cory Wharton. He's got a sad update about his daughter, Maya, needing surgery again. Very, very devastating stuff. We're going to get into that. And then I know a lot of you guys like to watch The Secret Life of Mormon Wives. Well, one of the girlies has officially been named as the next Bachelorette. Andy Cohen from Bravo TV. He is on Ozempic, or not specifically Ozempic, but he's on a GLP-1. He's talking about that as well. And lastly, we're going to close out today's episode with a recap of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. So stay tuned for all of that, okay? If you're enjoying today's episode of The Morning Report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows you enjoy my content. And
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running.
Tired of learning languages in boring, frustrating ways? Try TalkPal. TalkPal is your personal AI language tutor. It teaches you languages in fun, engaging ways. It gives you real-time feedback, assesses your pronunciation, and the learning process is personalized just for you. Join millions of other learners and start your language learning journey today.
So you guys, like I said, we have plenty more to discuss. Why don't we get into the Cory Wharton story, right? And you know what? There's so many parents who would who are going through like terminal illness and whatnot, right? Who would kill for one more day, minute, year, hour with their kids, right? And here's somebody with multiple kids who love her so much, who's like, oh yeah, I would love to, just leave them. And listen, I don't think that suicidal ideation is selfish or whatever. I think that people suffer, have different battles with their mental health and whatnot. It's the joking about it that's like weird. Anyway, why don't we get into the other teen mom story, okay? Cory Wharton, his daughter Maya has to have another major surgery, and he announced the news on his Instagram page yesterday. He posted a series of photos of her and himself in the hospital with a caption that reads, and I quote, "Prayers for Maya. Maya has a cath lab this morning to get her ready for her next open heart surgery. I think all my parents can agree it's always stressful when your kid has to go under anesthesia, especially when you start to have PTSD from all her other procedures. It's not a good feeling, but we know she needs this in order to feel better. I'll say this. I know Maya is a little warrior and we will get through this." And so we saw Christina Shirley, married to Gary Shirley, respond in the comments saying, "Sending love and prayers for your sweet girl," with a couple of hearts as well. And a lot of other people also shared their love and support. Honestly, the idea of a child going through surgery is just so heartbreaking, right? Especially a major surgery and having to do this multiple times. I think this is her second open heart surgery. Correct me if I'm wrong. Twice at this young age. Like, how old is this girl? She's so tiny, right? She's only 3 years old and you're going through this twice. That is absolutely devastating, right? Gail and Tyrell on TikTok, right? They agree. This is absolutely heartbreaking. So Maya was born with a congenital heart defect called tricuspid atresia with VSD. And this is something that they had found out about 25 weeks into the pregnancy and stuff. And when Maya was born, she spent a couple of weeks in the NICU, to kind of stabilize and make sure everything was okay before being able to go home with her family as well. Oh my God, open heart surgery twice at 3 years old. Absolutely heartbreaking. Like Tyrell says, devastating. I cannot even begin to imagine it. You just want to cry for this family. I cannot believe it. It's just the idea of kids being sick, and having to go through this kind of stuff is just absolutely heartbreaking, devastating. It's so unfair. It is so freaking unfair, right? I hope she continues to fight as hard as she can. And I hope that, this is the last time that she has to undergo a major operation. Good morning, Gail. So nice to see you, boo. Yeah, poor Maya indeed. So you guys, any thoughts, prayers, energy you can send Maya's way, and to Cory, Taylor, and their family, in addition to her sisters Mila, Ryder, would be absolutely wonderful. Carly says the best vibes and prayers possible to little Maya. That is so scary, right? Winnie says, even scarier when it's open heart. Yeah, and not just a routine procedure. Happy thoughts for that sweet child. That is major. Typically, when I'm hearing about people getting open heart surgery, it's people like 50s, 60s, 70s. And it's typically like, you know what I mean? Like, to see a girl this small, 3 years old, having to go through that. Oh, like how small is her heart at this age, right? Like, it's just, oof, it's so painful to even imagine. Hi, Melissa. Tyrell says, my mom had her eye removed and a benign tumor removed at 1. Oh my God. And had to deal with a glass eye at 1 year old. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. Oh God. I hate to hear about babies dealing with this type of stuff. It's just too much. It's too heavy. It's a lot, right? So nice to see all of you guys, sending all of your beautiful thoughts and prayers to Maya and her family as well. I really, really, really hope that she is able to make it out okay, and that she gets better, right? I would hate to see her go through this again. Now, you guys, let's get into that Mormon wives story just to kind of pick the energy up a little bit. I haven't been able to watch it yet, and I know you guys have been telling me to, but I will. Listen, Love is Blind France just came out today, so I have to go binge the hell out of that, and you will be hearing about that on the morning report. But I did hear that this is fantastic television as well, right? So one of the ladies from that show, Taylor Frankie Paul, has officially been announced as the next Bachelorette. She's 31 years old. She's got 3 kids from her ex-husband. Well, 2 are from her ex-husband, and 1 is from her ex-boyfriend. So her kids' names are a daughter, Indy, who's 8, son, Ocean, who's 5, and her son, Ever, who's 1. I'm sorry, you guys, but I think it's weird that somebody with a 1-year-old child is going to be the Bachelorette. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but I think it's very, very weird. I don't think that this is appropriate casting. I think they're just doing this to kind of ride the wave of the buzz that Mormon wives got. But overall, I don't think that she's all that serious. And I don't think the men that she's going to be matching with are all that serious as well. She's only 31 years old. Like, all of this is a lot. You know, listen, are they going to be filming? Like, what kinds of, can I ask you guys, like, what kinds of guys do you think this particular season is going to attract? Because I got to be honest with you guys. Listen, maybe if it was like the last time we had a single mom on the show was Emily Maynard. I really loved her. And her daughter was rather young, but not 1-year-old young, right? Like, her daughter was walking, talking, like all that stuff. But 1-year-old just feels a little bit inappropriate to me personally, right? OMG, yes, Love is Blind France is on Netflix. It just came out today, so please start watching it so we can talk about it together. Kristen says, I thought I'd hate this show, but I actually really love it. I'm looking forward to the next season. Listen, that's what I felt about Housewives of Salt Lake City, right? But it turned out being one of the best Housewives franchises out there. Hey, Erica, my Canadian girl. Tyrell, Erica's also, Erica, Tyrell's also Canadian. Yeah. Listen, I'm looking forward to getting into it, but I just haven't been able to watch it just yet. Ashley says the franchise just needs a views. That's what it looks like. I don't think they're going to find sincere people at all. I really don't. Hey, Allie, we were just talking about you earlier. Nice to see you, boo. We're talking about the Brittany. When we're doing the Kail story, we're talking about her saying that her results are kind of Brittany-esque with like the muscle pulling her face down. Never got into that show. Nasty business, kissing up on the same person. I'm telling you. Listen, I loved Early Bachelor, though. I can't even lie. I loved Early Bachelor. I loved the tie. You know how he had Melissa and Molly, and I love the Emily Maynard season. I love the one with, what's her name, Vienna and Jake. Like, I used to love that show. But I think that over time, like, it lost its authenticity. So I really think that this season is going to be a crap show. I got to be honest with you. I don't think they're going to be able to attract good quality candidates for this particular situation, if I'm being honest with you guys. I'm wishing her the best of luck, but she seems to be a mess. And so I wouldn't be surprised if the guys who are attracted to her and, wanting to go on the show are a mess as well. Now, speaking of a mess, why don't we talk about Andy Cohen? Listen, Andy Cohen, when I saw the news that he was taking weight loss medication, look at this guy's physique. He's got muscles, he's got abs, and he is now on weight loss medication, right? And mind you, these photos were taken before the Ozempic craze. Like, he has always been like a fitness guy, and he's always had a pretty good build. So now hearing that he is on microdosing, quote unquote, GLP-1s, like, crazy to me, right? So his exact quote on his radio show is the following. I was really unhappy with my weight. My doctor and I talked about this last year, had recommended a GLP-1 a few times to not only address what I was feeling about my weight, but treat plaque in my arteries and high blood pressure. He's not disclosing what GLP-1 he's on, but he says that whatever it is a medication that actually is beneficial to a lot of elements of health. And he finally said yes. I do not believe that a doctor had to convince vain-ass Andy Cohen to take a GLP-1. I think Andy Cohen came in waving his stacks of cash and asking for a GLP-1, and it's as easy as that. Listen, maybe he even went the telehealth route. It's so easy to get GLP-1s in the, let's be honest, especially when you're rich. I don't think he needed convincing. He's a very vain man, right? In a very vain kind of like lifestyle and whatnot. One thing about Andy Cohen, he is like, what do you call these? I'm not saying he's a sugar daddy, but like he's an older man with money who likes younger, buff men, right? And so to compete, he needs to be looking good, right, for those youngins that he likes. And so I think that that's why he wanted these GLP-1s, even though he already looked good. I'm actually quite surprised that men want to be emaciated these days. I thought that for them, like having a body on you, having muscles on you was like the move. So now to hear that somebody who's actually clearly into fitness wants to kind of wear down his muscles with like weight loss shots, like I feel like I'm short circuiting because I really do not understand why that would be his thing, right? Just saying. You guys' comments are coming in about the Bachelor story now. I think that there's a little bit of a lag. So let me go back to those comments. And I'm sure the Andy Cohen comments are going to come a little bit later. So I'll stand by for those as well. So let me see what y'all have to say. Winnie says, I never watched Bachelors, but I love the Flavor of Love. And I watched both of those. I love Flavor of Love and Rock of Love as well. They were hilarious. There was this one episode of Rock of Love that was absolutely disgusting. I can't even talk about it because I don't want to ruin you guys' appetite. It's almost lunchtime for some of you guys, okay? But if you watch that show, then you know what episode I'm talking about. You know. Disgusting to even think about it. But it was a good show. And I agree, Kristen. She does not need a new baby daddy. This situation is a train wreck. And I only think that guys who have like serious issues or who are narcissistic or like creepy or whatever can be attracted to this situation. So I am worried for her, to be honest with you. It's not going to be good, right? But I think that it's going to make for good television at least. So I do think that I'll try to tune in. Jaleesa says no, she shouldn't be on the show at all. She needs help, not a man. And I agree. Isn't she a train wreck on that Mormon wife show? Lucky says, oh, you're late. Wow, it's Lucky's birthday. Listen, I love a good birthday. Y'all know me. Listen, please help me wish our Lucky a happy birthday. Wow, thanks so much for coming by on your birthday, Lucky. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Thanks again, Lucky, for coming to join us on your birthday. And thank you guys for sharing the birthday love with Lucky. Thank you. I love celebrating you guys' birthdays. Oh my God, what are you doing for your birthday after the show? Please fill us in, Lucky. So yes, it's so dumb. I agree. She does not need to be the Bachelorette. I agree. Listen, I think she's just riding her celebrity as much as she can. Bye, Gail. Have a great day. See you next time, boo. And I think that any guy trying to do this is doing the same. Allie says it's like going to the corner store to pick up milk. GLP-1 is way easy to get. Exactly. Doctors do not need to convince people to take this, but a lot of people people have to convince doctors, right, to give it to them, right? Come on now. Come on. Carly says, I blame Timothy Chalamet brought back the sick Victorian child look. I can't believe, listen, Timothy, bless you, child, but I cannot believe a grown man wants to look like that. I'm sorry, like Timothy's a young adult, right? But like a man in his 50s wanting to look like he's, weighs like 80 pounds is crazy to me. Lucky, Tyrell is singing you the birthday song over there on TikTok, boo. And yes, Ashley, cue the music. Love a good birthday. Oh God. Yes, Winnie, that was disgusting. And you know what I'm talking about, Rock of Love, when he goes, I knew there was an interesting taste to it. Oh, let me change the subject. It was so nasty. So nasty. Ronnie says, over 120 people in the chat. Y'all show Grace some love and like this video. Thank you. If you guys are enjoying the show, please do not hesitate to leave a thumbs up. Ali says, maybe he stops the pasta and the drinking, he would tone up without the shot in the butt. You're always so savage. I freaking love it. And I agree. Listen, he says that the GLP-1 is helping him curb his snacking and whatnot, but he was at a good weight. He had muscle. He was a healthy person. He didn't need to do this. Just saying. Hey, Esther, how are you doing? What Mormon is she? There's two types of old school and the new ones. I think she's a new school. Look at her lifestyle. Look at her. This is not no old school Mormon. I see the birthday love is still rolling in for Lucky. Love, love, love that. Thank you guys so much for spreading the birthday love for our boo. You've even got some birthday love from Vancouver, or sorry, not Vancouver, from British Columbia, Canada. Shout out to my Canadians. I'm so excited to be back in Canada, y'all. It makes for great TV indeed. Listen, I'll be tuning in. It's been a really, really long time since I've watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, but I think that this one, the crossover in particular, is going to be really, really good. Susie says, I think she totally does this for attention. She was doing it when she was hurt. Are you talking about Kail? Because yes, I think there's some element to that, but I actually really do think that she's going through something. You know, listen, you don't have 7 kids by 4 different men, 9, 3 of whom hate you, right? You don't do that when you're mentally okay, right? I think that her lifestyle and whatever the result of it all already shows you that she's not okay, right? So, and then having 3 back-to-back, twins plus another one, it's a lot hormonally, mentally. Like, I think she's really going through it. And then all the way that she's just butchering herself. Boom, boom, chop this, cut that, carry the one, all that stuff. She's not okay, y'all. I don't think so. Like he says that she's going to lunch with her mom and shopping. Oh, I love that. So cute. I hope you have a great time and a really, really good day. I love a good birthday, y'all. I love a good birthday. Listen, my birthday falls on a Sunday this year, I think. So I'm not going to be able to listen. Maybe we'll sing about it on Monday or maybe on Friday. No, Monday. Anyway. And shout out to my Virgos. Y'all know I love a Virgo. Virgos are my listens. I don't know. Like, I feel like I get along really, really well with Virgos. So shout out to my Virgos. I love Virgo season indeed. Now, you guys, why don't we recap 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After? I am really, and I agree, Brie, I think she's lonely, right? Truly, truly do think that she is lonely, right? And that can be a very painful thing. And now at this point, with the latest way that she's kind of effed her life up and her chances and whatnot, like, I don't know. I know she's got this new guy, but I think it's just like another user, right? So I think she knows deep down. Anyway, good luck to her. Hey, Angela, I love your glasses so much. And I feel like I tell you that every time. She says, not even work stops me from your lives. I love that. Thank you so much for popping in. And you're a Virgo too. Listen, I'm telling y'all, listen, I love all my girlies, but I always have like this kind of like instant click with Virgo girlies and Libra girlies. Yeah, I don't know any Scorpio girls, I don't think, though. Are you still filming the morning report while in Canada, Grace? Yes. I am going to be filming the morning report. A meet and greet. I'm not sure yet because it's a really, really quick trip. I have a lot of stuff to do to like empty out my apartment. So I sold an apartment in Canada. So I don't know if I'll have time. I think I'll have to do a meet and greet like early next year, if that's something that works for you guys, because I'm only there for like 7 days or something like that. It's super in and out. So I don't know if I'll be able to, you guys. And remember, I'm from Ottawa. I'm not from like a major city like Toronto or Montreal or whatever. That would be easy for people. I'm like all the way out there in Ottawa, y'all. I think I only have Misha who's in Ottawa, and the rest of you guys are like in different parts of Canada. Esther says the true, and we all know how big Canada is, right? Esther says the true victims are those children. Just think about what they witness in here. We can't fully grasp the reality behind those walls. I agree. I absolutely agree. I Winnie the Cat's a Libra. Yay. Shout out to my Libras. I love me a Libra. And listen, you guys, you can always hit me up when you come to Paris. I've met a couple of you guys in Paris so far, so that's been fun. And Julie said we're supposed to meet up. I think we're still supposed to meet up next month as well. So like, you know, if you guys want to in Paris, you're always, you know, I'm always down to catch up with you guys as well. Hey, Rachel, welcome to your first live. So nice to have you. Misha's a Sagittarius. I don't know any Sagittarius besides my mother. That's so nice, right? Love, love, love. Sagittarius girl here. Jaleesa, I'm seeing you in Paris, boo. I think we're supposed to do like a hot chocolate or something like that. Sarah says, oh, you're getting me through the workday. Love that. And she's a Scorpio too. Hello, 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 boo. I love to hear that. A live in-person show. Oh, God. I had such a good time with Campire when we did that. Oh, my God. That was so freaking fun in London. I would love to do something. We'll see, you guys. Listen, the sky's the limit, right? Karina, she's Canadian. I always watch your videos. It's a Virgo in Montreal. Look at that. A Virgo in Montreal. You love to see it. Tyrell says she wants to come to Ottawa. Listen, you guys, I got to think about it a little bit more, okay? I know it's far. I got to think about it a little bit more. But you guys, if ever you're in Paris or whatever, do not hesitate. Carly says meeting Grace in Paris sounds like a dream. It's so fun. I really love meeting you guys. You know, it's a dream for me too. It's so fun. I love it, love it, love it. Now, you guys, let's get into 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After because I got to get to the gym, y'all. I have to work out. Now, hopefully you guys are still tuning into the show, okay? I have to tell you guys, I don't know what you guys think about the relationship between Andre and Elizabeth, but I'm actually really concerned for her as a woman because it feels like this guy is so toxic. Everybody around her sees it. Everybody around her has been warning her against him, right? And telling her, listen, this guy's ruining your life. He's ruining your life. Now we find out that this man took $75,000 from her father and kind of pissed it away on some crappy investments. Here's the thing though. Why would Elizabeth's father give Andre $75K to carry out a real estate deal in Moldova when Andre doesn't know anything about real estate? He's only in real estate because that is Elizabeth's father's business, right? And then Elizabeth's father cannot oversee this money in a different continent, right? And Andre is not even in the continent, in the country, to really properly be looking after the construction of this supposed house to make sure it actually, you know, happens. Like that whole story is so freaking sad. But, you know, I think Elizabeth just loves the whole you and me against the world kind of mentality. She loves the fact that nobody likes her husband. She loves the fact that she always has to defend him and that he screws her over and makes her like, there's something about her that is so freaking weird to me. I cannot. And it looks like you guys cannot stand Andre either, right? Like I don't get it. You know, I think there are some girls like that though, who like the bad boy or whatever, right? But like so many people in her family have been telling her for a really, really long time, don't do it, don't do it. This is not the right guy or whatever. But she just keeps on going. And now she's losing good friendships. When I saw in today's episode that she aired out Lauren's private conversations with her about her husband and whatnot, like Alexi, and feeling like Alexi like might have body shamed her or whatever. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, why would you say and do something like that? That can have very serious implications for somebody else's marriage just because you're upset about something to do with your husband, you know? Like she's just losing everybody, friends, family, everybody. And it's just so freaking sad. Right. And I agree. You know, sometimes, Kelly, I do wonder if some of these things are put on. So, for example, there's that couple, there's this Russian girl, and the way she speaks English is so cute to me. I think her name is Julia. And she's married to that man with like the clingy parents and the mom whose hair looks like a rug. That one, like that couple, I don't really talk about them and I don't really have an interest in their storyline because it feels very forced for the show, right? Like they seem like they're a happy overall couple and that everybody is hamming it up for the show. But overall, like, I don't know, Elizabeth and Andre, I really think that guy genuinely is toxic and like controlling or whatnot, right? Shay says she always misses. Well, look, now we've got it over here on TikTok. And thank you, Karina. It's Brandon and Julia. Like, I don't, listen, they seem like lovely people who are pretending to have like this toxic dynamic and whatnot for the show. And it's very transparent to me personally. Ramsey says Moldova's right next to the Ukraine, and Andre wants to move his family there. Not smart, right? At this very moment, it's not a smart idea at all. Thank God they were able to come back, because that was looking a little bit sketchy, right? And Misha, that too, like, do you guys think that Andre really did actually put that money into a house and it was lost because some country kind of went under with like the war and whatnot? Or did he kind of just squirrel that money away? Giving somebody money to put overseas is absolutely crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Somebody who's not even like an expert or whatever in real estate, to give almost $100,000 like that, insane, right? Well, soon, Gail. So sorry to hear that. Oh my God. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Keeping my fingers crossed that everything is okay and that it's not cancerous. I'm knocking wood right here. Misha says he's so shady. And I agree. I kind of feel like he's playing the long game with Elizabeth, right? Similar to the way that Pedro was doing that with Chantel. So keep an eye out, Elizabeth. Keep an eye out. Like, there's something very odd about her, to be honest with you guys. I don't know how I feel about her. She seems like she would have been a really lovely girl with a different guy, but like something about the toxicities might be exciting to her. Maybe it makes her feel relevant and important or something like that, right? Like, I just not a fan, right? Yes, Lex, glad you're here, boo. She's ready to talk about 90 Day Fiance. We're talking about that latest episode. And thank you, Misha. Listen. By the way, they spoiled the ending of the show. So their entire storyline, thank you, Tyrell, their entire storyline of Brandon and Julia this season is that he really is pushing for a baby. She's not sure because she feels like maybe she won't be able to have one. And so they just kind of announced that, you know, she's pregnant. So, you know, there goes that storyline, right? In my Lisa Rinna voice. Alexa's not coming for Betty's mullet. Isn't it so fun? Listen, I love a good mullet, but hers looks like a rug. And, you know, actually at the end of this week's episode, she looked really pretty too. I was like, she's a really pretty girl. Give her the right haircut. Do you guys remember how shocking it was when we saw Colt's mom, Debbie, back in the day was a dime, like a 10 out of 10. Like sometimes it's just the hair or the styling that makes someone like look, you know, less hot than they actually are. Amelia says, I'm a Scorpio girl, a Scorpio. I love that. Hello to my fellow Scorpio. I'm so happy to finally know some Scorpios. I don't know any in real life, like any Scorpio girlies. You know what's funny? I share a birthday. My birthday twin is Kempire's manager. That's the only person I know who shares. Do any of you guys share my birthday, October 26th? Carly says, Julia's so cute. She deserves Brandon better than Brandon and his weird parents. Isn't it adorable? I freaking absolutely love her, the way she speaks and everything. She is so freaking funny, right? Absolutely freaking hilarious. It's so cute and innocent, her version of English. And you know who else I actually really love is Yara. I love Yara. I think that Yara is a bad bee, and Yara knows she's a bad bee. She's so chic and stylish. I loved her actual like puppy accessories line. I really hope it takes off. Like, she's really lovely. I really like her so far. And she dropped the bomb on Elizabeth that Andre told the guys about losing $75,000. So the guys and their wives knew about it before Elizabeth knew about it. I'm sorry, but like that relationship, that marriage is a humiliation ritual. Yikes, right? Now, again, I really do not understand why Matt is so into Jasmine. Again, Jasmine comes with so much baggage, not only with the Gino thing, but like her kids left behind in another country and just so much weirdness, right? And like the show and just being picked apart by like millions of people who watch the show. I do not understand why he was so desperate for this girl. Similar to the girlfriend that Gino had, right? Gino had this girlfriend. She was actually a pretty woman and she had grown kids. Like, what was her deal? Like, why was she running after this guy and everything? Like, thankfully, I think her name was Natalie. Thankfully, she left this whole thing behind after Jasmine attacked her. But Matt is still here talking about, I'm attracted to Jasmine. I'm so turned on when she gets violent with people. Oh, what? Right? Karina says Yara is awesome. Isn't she? Love her so freaking much. She's so cute. And she's so chic, right? So listen, anyway, spoiler alert, we all know, and this is going to come out in next week's episode, right? But the two of them end up having a baby together. And for those of you who might just be joining or whatever, and I agree with Earl, for those of you who might be joining or whatever, they're already broken up. Matt moved out of the house and Jasmine is now wanting to move to Italy. So it looks like she might even leave this child with Matt. I don't think that Matt would just like be willing to allow her to leave with the child. So to me, I'm imagining her already like ditching this child like she ditched the other ones. Maybe she'll go make another one in Italy and then, you know, ditch that to go somewhere else next. Like very, very sad overall. Can I ask you guys, do you think that Darcy and Georgie's marriage is going to make it? He seems so just dead inside every time he's around her. However, he has kind of been picking things up a little bit, right? A little bit lately, especially in this week's episode, but I just do not see any love from him to her. I think she's crazy about him. I think she's super in love. But when it comes to him, I'm not sure. Although his family is very sweet. They were really lovely with her and everything. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I really, truly hope that things work out for Darcy's sake, but I do not buy this guy. Can I ask you guys something else? So this guy has been in the US for like 20 years or something like that, 18 years or whatever. And his level of English is still not great. I find that to be very strange, especially because he was married to a prior American. And then they said that he wasn't able to like leave to go back to see his family for like over a decade. Why would that be the case? You know, if you were married to another American, would you not have some kind of residency permit that allows you to travel around? Like, for example, y'all know, I live in France on a residency permit, and, you know, with this permit, I could travel, right? Like, why wasn't he able to travel? I don't understand, right? Anyway, I don't know. The whole thing is so strange. Misha says that he's turned off by Darcy. She's embarrassing. Listen, I can agree with you. I think that Darcy is very embarrassing, and I think she gets off on embarrassing him. You know, it's kind of like the way, and I was talking about this to somebody, a friend of mine who's a parent, but like, I love embarrassing my nephew. It's too easy, you know, like, he hates when I say groovy, right? I like to make myself seem older than I am. So I'd be like, oh, you know, what are all the cool kids? He's only 11. What are all the cool kids saying at school? Groovy, hip, and he hates it. I'm like, oh my God, Auntie Gracie, don't say that. That's so cringe, right? Like that kind of thing. I feel like that's how Darcy is with her man. And it's kind of like this weird kind of like, you know, mother-son sort of a dynamic situation, right? I was telling somebody yesterday, she kind of looks like the Bogdanov twins, by the way, she and her sister. I don't know what was going on. They were such beautiful girls before. I really, really just do not understand. Ramster might have a massive, massive revelation here. I had no clue. Hang on, I'm trying to find your comment, Ramster. It disappeared. Apparently, Matt is an actor, a failed actor. So is that why he was hitching his wagon to Jasmine for the opportunity to stay on TV and perhaps even parlay it into other things moving forward? That would make so much sense. You know, people are so scary, you guys. You have to be really careful about who you marry, who you have kids with. Some people are playing the long game with you and you don't even know it because your heart is so pure, you know? Korean says maybe he couldn't afford it. But that's the thing. Like, he's been working in the US, like, stashed some money aside, like a decade plus. Like, I don't know. And he was married, like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys couldn't go half and half on one ticket for a couple $100. Like, I don't know. Like, something about that story is so strange to me. Like, your nephews are born, your nieces and nephews are born, and they make it to 12 years and you've never seen them. Like, oh my God, you weren't there for the wedding. Like, couldn't put it on a credit card. Don't they hand out credit cards like candy? Like, I don't get it. Like, they hand out credit cards like candy over there. He could get a credit card and pay it off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Very strange to me. How do you guys feel about that? I don't know. Lex says Darcy's video trying to eat a salad the other week was horrifying. Did it remind you of Taylor on Beverly Hills trying to eat cotton candy with her fake lips that didn't move? Kelly says, I love Darcy, but I don't know about this marriage. It seems like it could have been an agreement and being together for the show. I wouldn't be surprised. There was something that was very sad, which is they got into a fight about her, like, kind of like her vulgar way of presenting herself, right? And she's like, just admit it. You don't love me. You never did. You only use me for the papers and the money. You're going to leave me for someone younger. I think that she was being honest when she said that. I really do think that that is kind of like the thing in the background of this relationship, right? That is transactional and that it's temporary and that, you know, that could potentially happen, right? Just saying. Yeah, he hates when I say it's groovy. Listen, I cannot wait. I'll be there next week telling him everything is groovy and he's going to be cringing. You know what listen, I hate that the kids say cringe. They don't say that's so cringe. They just be like cringe. I think that's so funny. Yes, doesn't she? Yeah, that's what I think they look like, you know, and they were such pretty girls. You know, it makes me so sad. It's always the pretty ones, right? So many people who are so beautiful who go down this road. Listen, a little nip tuck, whatever. You know, one thing, but to completely just rip your head off, replace it with another one like that. Jeez. Oh, okay. September 25th is my brother's birthday, by the way. Good luck to your husband, Gail. Good luck, good luck. And it's so kind of you to take him there. And we're gonna miss you on September 25th, boo. I wonder if Jasmine knew that about Matt. Good question. I'm really, really curious now. That's why I love doing these lives, because you guys tell me all these things that I didn't know about. Like this helps me understand so much, right? The idea that Matt maybe wanted to be an actor, and that could be why he's like, so desperate for Jasmine and the show and everything. It makes so much sense. Now, I do have a question for you guys about another couple. By the way, I found her so beautiful. Cara and Guillermo, they're a very beautiful couple. Like, they're both very attractive people. And I'm really sad that this is not working out, but I'm not surprised at the same time. He's very immature. He doesn't have a solid plan for what he wants to do as a career. Like, he's just bouncing around all these different ideas and whatnot, right? And she's supporting the family on her own. Like, it's a lot of pressure, and it's not sexy. I'm sorry, but a man who cannot take care of himself, let alone his family, is not attractive, right? So with that being said, do you guys think that Cara might have cheated on Guillermo? So she's got this whole thing where she's like a singer, right? She's a real estate agent. That's how she takes care of the family. But on the side, she's a singer. She sings bachata music. Bachata, come on. She sings bachata music. And apparently she had a friends with benefit that she used to hook up with before her marriage. And she kept him as a friend. And she has these one-on-one hangouts with him. And she even... she goes to, here's the thing. I don't think it's problematic that he runs these Latin music nights and she asked to sing at them, whatever. But when he does after parties at his house and she attends them without her husband, that's weird to me. I'm getting red flags. And then the husband's talking about, anytime he comes around, she's rushing to hide her phone and whatnot. That's weird to me. That is cheating behavior, right? But at the same time, she's like, people who are accusing you of cheating constantly is because they're paranoid about their own cheating and they're kind of trying to deflect. Her parents said that there was a weird incident in which they were watching the son and he came home, he was disheveled and he rushed to take a shower and quickly thanked them for watching the son. So it's kind of mutual people accusing each other of cheating. I kind of am of the belief that perhaps, I don't know, I kind of feel like Cara is cheating. And I kind of feel like maybe he's cheating too. Maybe we're all cheating in this marriage. Kristen, it's your son's 18th birthday. Oh, look at that. See, it's so fun when you have these cool little similarities. And I saw we had 2 Sagittariuses in here. I think it was Dejana, and I think my other Jaleesa, are you a Sagittarius? I think you said as well. It's so cool. It's so funny how certain signs you just never meet or something like that, right? And I don't get it, Karina. I really love Cara. I think she's a beautiful, lovely girl. She's doing her best to take care of her family on her own. Maybe she may be bitchy at her husband, but who wouldn't be bitchy at a grown man who doesn't know what he wants to do? He's got a wife and child, I'd be bitchy too, right? Come on. La 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 la. OMG says, I love when children call me cringe. Right? Isn't that so fun? I think it's the cutest thing. Yes, I'm old. I'm cringe. It's so cute. And I agree. Yeah, she's trying to promote her singing career with these events. But I think that going to these after parties at the guy's house, texting with him, hiding your phone, I would be thinking that she's cheating too, personally, if I were married to her. Just saying. And so he had reserved for them, probably with her credit card because he ain't got no money. He had reserved for them to go to some sort of love hotel to bring the spark back into their relationship and their marriage. But that's when she takes the opportunity to dump him. She says she no longer thinks that he is her person, and that the vast of their disconnect is just too, their disconnect is too vast to overcome, essentially. So that's sad. And then meanwhile, I don't know, can you guys fill me in? Some of you guys may be a little bit more into the 90-Day Universe than I am. I used to be obsessed with this, but I fell off when they did 1,000,001 spinoffs. But did Matt and Jasmine ever end up moving to Florida? So he tells her that he's got an opportunity in Florida. He wants her to move with him, right? And she actually, she's really pissed off about it. But listen, Jasmine is Latina. Florida, I think, is a really, really good place for somebody like her because there's so many Latinos in Florida. Spanish is so widely spoken there. And she was complaining about the weather in Michigan. And Jasmine is a vivacious plastic surgery, vixen type of a chick. So especially if it's Miami, I feel like that would have been the perfect place for her. You know what I mean? And so I think she was just pretending that she's not really excited about it. But on the inside, she was jumping for joy that she finally gets to get out of cold, dreary Michigan and go to the beaches of Florida. Who wouldn't want, listen, I know Florida has their own like things going on, right? But I would be trading Michigan for Florida as well. I don't know. Sorry to those of you who are in Michigan here in the live chat, but I would be trading it in for Florida. And I know Florida's got its own problems, but I absolutely would, right? Oh, Jess is a Sagittarius as well. Shout out to my chat, Sagittarius. What do we call you guys? Sagittarii, the plural? Shout out to you guys. So they live in Florida and had her daughter. See, I knew it. She would have loved to go to Florida. So of course she said yes. And Tyrell, her mom was the first Gemini. Listen, I don't want to get in trouble talking about Gemini, so I'm going to be quiet. Is Allie still here? She might come for me. So they live. Okay, for some reason your photo reminded me of Cynthia, that one season of Housewives of Atlanta where she looked like this lady. Happy birthday to your friend, Gail. Happy birthday. So many birthdays this season. She's not respecting Leah's boundaries for her wife. Yes, thank you. Becky's wife's name is Leah. It's Jaleesa who comes from me over Geminis. I'm sorry. Listen, I didn't say anything. I was being nice today. I was being nice. Listen, I'm happy that Jasmine finally got to go to Florida. Everything worked out for her greatest good. Gino was not the perfect match for her. You know, I think this guy is a more... And I don't know why Gino keeps calling this man ugly. I'm sorry. Put these two men up side by side. Let's be so freaking for real here. You know, Matt is not ugly by any stretch of the imagination. So I think that things worked out best for Jasmine, her being able to go to Florida. I would have been so happy. I'd have been so happy. Kikar says, I live in Michigan and I don't blame her for wanting to get out of here. Right? No offense to Michigan, but Michigan, Florida, I'm going to Florida. I want that sun. Summer Marie says, I love a June Gemini. It's the air to my fire. Listen, I think... Thank you for taking the Gemini men off the streets. That's all I can say to you, Summer Breeze. Oh my God. When a man, I always ask a man for his like birthday, so I know he's not a Gemini before I go any further. So I'm happy you're taking them. Amanda says, Gemini's men scare me. Me too, girl. Me too. And I agree with you as well, K-Car. Florida seems like a really, really, really beautiful place. I know there's a lot of like things associated with it that are messy and whatnot, but it seems absolutely beautiful. The weather was stunning when I was there. Oh my God. Malik, your makeup is absolutely beautiful. Wow. I love this. Jasmine and Matt were never in a relationship. Yeah. Listen, maybe it's one of those things. Ramster had mentioned it a little bit earlier that he was an aspiring actor once upon a time. So all of this could have been some sort of an arrangement. And I think the baby can also help Jasmine stay in the United States as well. I think that this is some kind of an arrangement. Listen, I'm sorry, but she traded up. She traded up. Let's be so freaking for real. She doesn't have to suck this man's toes anymore to try and get laid. Oh, Lord. She was down bad for that man. Lord have mercy. Anyway, you guys, listen, that does it. I got to get ready to hit the gym. Another episode of the Morning Report. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for a whole hour and a half. It has been so fun, and I'm really looking forward to coming back for another episode tomorrow. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows you enjoy my content. And I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for more of the day's hottest stories. Happy birthday to you once again, Lucky. Enjoy your lunch and your shopping. Bye, guys.